Hello, traders. Hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. And now it is time to get back to the proceedings of this week, right? So let us again start from the monthly chart and see what ES Futures is up to. So on the monthly chart, we have seen that we were deep down here and we have recovered. And now the monthly chart is green again, as we were thinking that it may happen over the last week. And now we have to see if the price can hold on to this 90 area and then move on to this 5600.25 area and then keep moving on the upside. Also, we will keep a notice on this line, which is 5589. This line is important because it is the midpoint of the monthly channel that we are in. We tried to break out of this channel, but now since we have come back and we are almost at the 50% of this channel, if the price keeps moving up, we may actually get up to the all-time high based on the monthly chart that we are seeing. Now, if the price comes down, we need to see whether this open of the month line is holding. If the open of the month line is not holding, then we can come down again to the 5.8 area and then back to the 5.534 areas once again. So if you remember last week, we actually came to the 4.0 area. We recovered. We went above the 5.0 area, the 5.8 area, and then continued till the 80 line. And on Friday afternoon, we were very much defending this 5.575 line. So I would like to see that line getting defended. I would like to see price staying in this area overnight, and then we will see if the price is coming back above 50 and going towards the 80 again, trying to break it out and hit the 5600 line, and then we can actually start moving up. We know that we have a measured move target at 5639, although that is not on the monthly chart. But if price keeps going up, that will be a target nevertheless. I am hoping that overnight it will stay in a trading zone in this area, and then in the morning we will see how the hourly chart has behaved, how the 4-hour chart has behaved, and then make our plan accordingly. So for now, apart from these lines, there is nothing more to see on the monthly chart. Let us move on to the weekly chart. Now, looking at the weekly chart, if we again look at the fib here, we will see that the 79% is at 5597.25. So that is a primary area that we need to be taken over by the bulls. If the bulls continuously keep getting rejected here, even if it goes up a little bit and then comes back down again and then keeps coming the levels, that may be a false breakout above the 79% area, because we know that the 79 to the 89% area can be the trap zone for the bulls, and then we may actually start on the second leg of the weekly chart, right? So we have to see what happens overnight here, and if the price keeps on moving up, even if we move above this 55, 97, 98, or let us say 99 area, or even the 5600, if we keep moving up, our first resistance will be again at 5611 to 5633. Once we cross over that, this 5620.75 will also be a very good target for the bulls. We will put a line there at this point. And if we can get over this 56.20.75, we will get to the 31 to the 33 area, and then we may target this 89% line at 56, 57, and then keep going up. So we are looking at something where we had a very strong leg on the weekly basis, and we are thinking whether there can be a second leg. If you see here, we had 3 consecutive candles here as well, but we did not have any second leg after that. But what is happening here is none of the bars here were climactic, but we have a very climactic bar here at this point. And so what may happen is the whole week may stay in a very tight range at this point, and then we will have to see how strong that bar is, whether it is a follow-through bar to this climactic bar, or it is actually coming down the levels and have created a pretty strong inside bar. It cannot be an inside bar anymore because we have actually trapped the bulls on the top here at this point. So this is just the beginning of the market, the first 30 minutes of the Sunday open. So there is nothing to bother about that. But as long as we do not see that bearish pressure, I will not even try to short because the market is pretty strong. And even if we have a couple of red days, there is still a chance that the market will keep pushing up towards the top, as long as the bears are not strong enough to break down the strong levels. Like for now, we have again the 5538 to 40 area that has to break down. If that breaks down, then we may come to the 5533, and then we will follow the subsequent levels below, right? Below the 5533, we have the top 1/3 area, which is at 5520. That may also be a very good support. Apart from that, we will still find support in this area, which has broken out. And if the price keeps coming down, we will have to see what happens again at this 5474.5 or the 5475 area. That has been a breakout point, right? So we will now have to see whether the price comes down to the breakout point, and then it can actually come down to this area at 5411. So we will have to see how price unfolds tomorrow. But on the downside, on the weekly chart, these are the different possibilities that we have. So now looking at the ATR on the weekly chart, the way we ended last week was around 230 points. So if we consider that we can go up another 230 points from here, our target will be somewhere in the 5700 area, right? Somewhere here in the 5800 area, actually. And then if there is a pullback on the weekly chart and we are trying to get the second leg, then we may actually come down to the 5354, 5350 areas once again. So those are the two targets possible based on the 200 points ATR. But then you see we had this big gap up here. So let me remove the drawings here and see something. Let me remove all the drawings here. The chart is saved though. So if we see that the chart moved from here to here, right? So this was from 5333 to the 5533 area. So that was 200 points. And right after we went up 200 points, including this gap. And once we did that move, we had a kind of a pullback, and the length of the pullback was only 78 points, right? So this whole week we stayed within 80 points. So those are the different things that we will have to see. We know that we have the target of the 5639 on the upside, so that may be the final area where the market tries to reach, or maybe this 5630 area and we start getting rejected from there, and then we break all the levels down and start the leg on the downside. So I'll leave the chart that way. I will not save this so that the drawings stay on the chart. Let us now move on to the daily chart. Looking at the daily chart, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days of very strong move. This is the eighth day. Now, this is where we need to be careful. We had this upper trend line. We have broken out of that upper trend line. We have got a follow through after that. And now we have to see whether we are holding on to this trend line or we are breaking it down strong. And if we are breaking it down strong, we may come back down to the 5536 to the 27 area. So if you see, these are also coinciding with the higher time frame. So this will be a very important area. Friday also we stopped there on the daily chart. And if we keep coming down from there, we get to 5515 and 5499, and then finally to the 5490 to the 72 areas. Now, if we are going up, I want the price to cross above 5600. Once we cross above 5600, I will look for this 5630 area on the daily chart, and then I will look at the 5667 area on the upside if the price continues to move above the 45640 line on the daily chart. However, we need to be very careful because this is where the main drop started and there was a gap created here. We could not close the gap. Bears may still be present in this 5600 area, or we may have a double top on the 5630 area and then start to fall. So again, on the daily chart, there is no new support or resistance area that needs to be added. We have to see that if we get down here somewhere near the 40 or the 30 levels once again, and then if we keep going up again, maybe we will form a trading range in this area tomorrow. And once we break out the trading range, we have to make sure that we know what is happening at the 5600 level. And if the 5600 level gives up, then we go ahead and touch this 5630. Now we will also keep this 5580 area in mind because that will be the deciding point for this particular trend line that we have. If we break down from there, we can get to the 5569 first. There will be some support from 75 to the 68 area, but once again, if we start coming down the 65 line, there is a big chance that we get down to the 40 areas, and we can come down to this box once again. Once again, we saw when last Friday ended, the ATR was at 70 points. So if we measure from Friday, we get the 70 points somewhere in the 5650 area. That is a very good target for the bulls to achieve if the bulls are really serious and they come to this 30 line and then keep going up. We may actually come and touch this target on the 5650 line and complete the 70 points. On the flip side, if this stays the high of the day, it stays the Globex high and it stays the high for the entire day as well. At that point of time, we may come to the bottom of this green box and then we will see where the price is moving. Let us now take a look at the 4-hour chart. If you look at the 4-hour chart, we had this expanding triangle. This was a wedge. This was the first touch, second touch, third touch. The fourth touch actually broke out. Now, the fourth touch broke out. We had a very good follow through. We went back up and then we came and retested the top of this climactic bar where we found bulls again and we have gone back up. Now, if we are measuring the length of this pullback and considering that we are above the pullback at this point, and if the price continues to the upside, mostly we will be able to see the 5630 area that we were looking on the daily chart as well, and that is the measured move that we have at this point. And finally we can come to this 5639 area, crossing which we can come to this 11% to the 21% extension above the 1:1, and can touch this 5650.25 line, which was also something that is matching up with our daily chart. So these can be the various targets for the bulls on the upside tomorrow if they keep going up. Now if this 83 area fails, we get down the 69 level, there is a high probability that we'll find some bulls at 56 area, 56 to 47, failing which we will come back to the bottom of this, and that may actually create a trading range in this whole area between 36 and 80 or 40 to 80. Let us now take a look at the 1 hour chart. This was the high that we had, the 86.5 area. It is very important that we hold above that, and it is important that we stay above this particular midpoint of this channel that we have. And if we get a strong closure above this, there's a high probability again we come to this 5601.5, and depending on when the price is going up, we may actually see the price going up and touch this top of the channel line. Again, if you see, if we are getting above this on the 1 hour chart, our next resistance area will be in the 5624 to the 29 area. So again, this is the 30 line that we are talking about. And if we keep going up there, we can get to the 38 to the 40 area on the 5600 levels. And then if we still keep going up, this 5658 to 5663 is highly possible, but then we will have to see what happens at the 5650 line. That is also a very important line that we have from the 4 hour chart. On the downside, we will have to see if we are breaking down the low of this particular candle, we are breaking down the low of 70 or 69 like we saw. There can be bulls present here in the 67 to the 71 area as well, based on these wicks that we have on the hourly chart. Let me have a small box drawn there. Yeah, that can be also an area of support at this point. And if we keep going below this, then we will come to the 62 to 59 area, failing which we can see the 51 or the 50 area once again. And after that, we can come down to the bottom of this channel sometime, or we will see that we have come down in this green box, and then we will see whether the price bounces from there again. One thing to notice here on this dump on the hourly chart is that we actually had a two-legged move. This was the first leg, this was an inside bar, and then we had a strong second leg. This bar again was climactic, as I was commenting on Friday morning, and then we started doing the leg up. This was the first leg up. Now if we want to consider the 1:1 of this first leg to the upside, we will again see this is bringing us to the 5526 to the 30 areas. So I think that if the price keeps going up and it is holding on to these levels, this particular red box will be a very good target for the hourly bulls, and it will be a very good area if you're long to take some profit here. Hold on to a runner and see if we can finally touch that 5650 line and keep that with a raised stop loss. Let us now look at the RTA chart. So on the RTA chart, if we look at Thursday, this bar number 19 from Thursday has been a very good support on Friday, right? So we will keep a box drawn around that. So that is the 5551 to the 5546 level. And on Friday, again, we had the bar number 24, which started the next move up, and that is from 5560 to the 5550 area. So in this whole area, we can still find some bulls available who can then take the price up. Now, if you look at this trading range that we had on Friday, we broke out of this trading range and we almost did 1:1 of this. So if you look at the trading range that happened on Friday, we almost did 1:1 of that, and the 1:2 of that comes again in the 5622 area. So every measured move is actually hinting that if we can get above this 5600 line, then there is a big possibility that we will come and hit this box somewhere between this 22, 25 or the 30 area. And then we will see if we can get down to this 33 line, which is the RTH double bottom breakdown. And finally, we can get to this 5643 and the 5655 lines here. Now on the downside, we will have to see if the bottom of this trading range breaks down. If the bottom of this trading range breaks down, then we will have a similar structure getting created here, and this will be our 1:1 somewhere in this gap area. And if we are in this gap area and we are trying to keep going down, we may come down till 5510, and then we can come to this 5502.75, which is the trend line on the higher time frame. Below that, we can come down to the 5497 to the 5493 area, and finally to the 5487, and then to the 5474 area, where again we will find this trend line support that we have been continuing from here. We will also keep an eye on the RTH 200 EMA, which is at 5543.25. If you see, the price has been above the 200 EMA consistently. Whenever we came down to the 200 EMA, we have bounced from there. So we'll have to take a look at whether that 200 EMA line is still holding, or we are breaking that down and then we are coming to the hourly EMA at the 5632, and then to the RTH gap area at 5526. So that is all the analysis I have for now. We will reconvene tomorrow morning at 8:45 a.m. EST and see what the price has done overnight, and then we will create the plan accordingly. If you want to join that call, the link to the Google Meet is given in the description below. Along with that, you will also find the link to our free Discord server and the Facebook page, and you are very welcome to join there. You will also find the links to all these multi-time frame charts that we are talking about in the description below. Also, if you like the contents in these videos, please like, comment, and share on the video, subscribe to the channel, and click on the notification icon. One more announcement is that on the second week of September, my next batch for the 65-hour price action live course is starting. So if you're interested, you can comment below, or you can join our Discord and send me a direct message there. So I will end the video here today, and I will see you guys again tomorrow morning at 8:45 a.m. EST. Till then, have a great night, everyone. Bye.